Welcome to another edition of In the Know, where we have a chance to discuss what has taken place at the most recent board meeting and any other new information that we're able to share. Again, we want to try to keep everybody as informed as possible on what's going on in the school district. Today happens to be Veterans Day, and I would like for all of us to please acknowledge and thank our veterans that work in the school district, but also that work in our communities. Thank them for the service that they have given for us and our country to allow us to be who we are. Again, Veterans Day, very important to acknowledge the folks that have served our country and helped us have the freedoms that we have in our country. So again, make sure we give them a pat on the back and a shout out. Also, next week is American Education Week, and we will be honoring a lot of our educators by showing our Teachers of the Year as well as our Support Employees of the Year on our website, acknowledging them, identifying them, so everybody knows who those folks are. Also, this week is National School Psychologist Week, so we want to say thank you to our school psychologists that help us with our special needs students and help us in our schools. I want to talk about what was discussed at the board meeting this past Monday. Several items that were taken up by the board as action items and also presentations that were given. The first presentation was where I had a chance to discuss with the board the achievement goals for this school year. As we all know, last year was a very different year, difficult and different year when it came to conducting school for our students and how we conducted that. We started late. We also had times where we were in and out of school because of COVID numbers. And so obviously our achievement data, our test scores at the end of the year, were very different than what they had been in years past. So I fully expect another different pattern to develop this year to where we also bounce back. And so we had that discussion with the board about our achievement goals and what we believe we can accomplish. Every school has their achievement goals that are set. We've been in contact with our principals and had discussions with them about what they believe is possible based on the students that they have. And teachers and staff, just know that your principals will be discussing this information with you about the specific school goals as well as the district goals that we have. Again, we had a down year last year in comparison to other years, but I feel like this year will be an up year. Another topic that the board took up at the board meeting was the capital projects update. And again, capital projects, this is money that is spent on keeping our buildings and facilities updated and in current condition that we need in order to conduct school. So for example, roofs. Many of our schools have had roof replacements recently, and they are on a set schedule to continue that over time. A lot of our schools have older HVAC units. They have a certain lifetime expectancy to them. Typically it's between 12 and 15 years. So we have those on a schedule for all of our buildings throughout the district, and so we're replacing those units as well. We are remodeling restrooms in a lot of our buildings. Again, realize that many of our buildings are over 40 years old, and so having to update those items is important to make that a great environment for our students and our staff to be in. Other items that we've looked at on the capital projects also have to do with some of the athletic facilities that we have, and so we talked about this in our last meeting as well, where we're replacing some lights on some of our fields. We're replacing tracks. We're replacing many things that have become worn over time. So we're using that money to help with our athletic facilities, our school facilities, and we're also using that to replace band uniforms. So the board did vote to replace band uniforms on an 8-year cycle for all of our marching bands. And so I'm encouraged for our band programs to be able to have those uniforms and know that they will have those on an ongoing basis. Other items that the school board took up was an approval of a school safety assessment contract. So we have a grant that allows us to do some assessment of all of our buildings and facilities and making sure that what we have, that we make it as secure as possible for our students and our staff. And so we will actually have a contractor, a consultant contractor that will look at every one of our facilities that we have and make suggestions to the district. We'll take a look at all those suggestions, implement everything that we can. Of course, there is a financial cost to some of those things. And we also know that we are certainly limited in some situations on our campuses, but we want to be able to do as much as we possibly can to make sure that our buildings are safe and secure for our students and for our staff. Talking about safety and security, I do want to talk a little bit about this current school year that we have been in. And I think everybody would agree that it has been difficult as far as dealing with student discipline and some of the issues that we've all had to consider in our buildings. It's not just Darlington County School District, by the way. I've talked with many superintendents across the state and across the country, and everybody is experiencing this heightened level of discipline issues that we are currently facing. Obviously, a lot of that has to do with the times that we're in and what we've experienced with the pandemic, but we can't use that as an excuse to not have order in our schools and to make sure that we have a safe environment for our students and our staff. So just know that we will not tolerate any type of violence or any threats towards students or staff members, and that we will react swiftly to those types of instances that occur. We must have control of our schools and of our facilities in a way that ensures that you, as a staff member, as a teacher, whatever role that you're in, that you feel safe in the environment that you're in, that our students feel safe in the environment that they're in, and also that our parents know that they have a safe environment that they're sending their children into. So as we talk about safety and security, it involves a lot, but just know that you have our support in making sure that we have orderly buildings and that we will continue to take action as necessary to make sure that the people that are there feel safe in the environment that they're in. Another item that the board took up was the approval of our new calendars for the next 2 years. So again, information was sent out to all stakeholders asking for input on those calendars, and we were able to approve 2 years worth of calendars moving forward. Our calendar is what we call the modified year-round calendar, and that actually has us starting with students the first week of August next school year. The good thing is that first semester will finish up before the Christmas break, and we will be finished before Memorial Day at the end of the school year. So some other great points about the new calendar is that there are some weeks built in that we have not had in the past. So there's a week built in October for schools to be closed and students to be home. There's also a week that's built into February. We all know that normal traditional stretch between January and spring break can be very difficult. So I'm excited that we've actually been able to put in another week that is in February that will give everybody a break and hopefully re-energize us for that stretch that we have until spring break. The traditional holidays are still in our calendar, so we are still off for a Thanksgiving break, we're still off for a Christmas break, we're still off for a spring break, and any of the national holidays that we typically have identified. Obviously we have an election day next year, planning on utilizing an e-learning day for that particular day. But again, you should have access to our new calendars by the time that you're seeing this actual video. Those should be accessible through our website and also through our email system. Another update that I gave the board at the board meeting was our COVID numbers. Again, our COVID numbers continue to decline. Thankful for that, grateful for that. COVID is not over with though, and so we are moving into the holiday season. But just to give you an idea as far as those numbers, last week we actually had 3 employee positives across the whole district and 2 employee quarantines. We also had 10 student positive cases across the whole district and 45 student quarantines. So the numbers are continuing to decline. They're low, but again, we must continue to stay vigilant on our precautions. We've done a great job of being able to stay in school and to keep as many of our students and employees in the buildings. But as we move into this holiday season, we're going to be around a lot of people. And so I just urge you during these times to don't forget to take the precautions. When you're around a group of people, to wear a mask. If you are able to be vaccinated, many more people are able to be vaccinated now, highly encourage you to talk with your medical provider and how to do that. Along those notes, as far as vaccinations, we were able to set up a vaccination drive back in the spring for the Darlington County School District. When the announcement came out for boosters, we thought it'd be a great idea to see if we potentially could set that up for employees as well. We sent out a survey, we got information back, and we took the numbers back to the hospital system to see if this would be possible. Unfortunately, the numbers that we have of people interested in getting a booster shot are not enough for us to have a separate vaccination drive at this time. So, we will be providing information on where you can obtain a booster shot locally, whether that be through hospital systems, DHEC, or your own healthcare providers. So we will be putting information out for you on that. Again, boosters are recommended, and so I would encourage you to talk with your healthcare professional about getting the booster shot. The last thing that the board took up and approved at the end of the meeting was our holiday bonus. And I'm so grateful to our board for agreeing to do this, and also just excited for all of our employees to have an extra financial lift as we move into Thanksgiving and Christmas season, and having extra money for folks to be able to utilize for that time and for their families. So again, the board approved a $1,500 gross bonus for full-time employees and a $750 gross bonus for part-time employees. And so just know you're going to see different amounts depending on what tax bracket you will be in, because we do have to take state taxes and federal taxes out of those amounts. So again, it's $1,500 gross, but it will be less because taxes have to be taken out of that amount. So again, the net amount, I can't tell you exactly that for each employee because it's different depending on what tax bracket that you're in. But the main thing to know is that you're getting a $1,500 if you're a full-time employee gross bonus, and $750 gross bonus if you're a part-time employee. The last thing I'd like to mention is that we have some home football games, playoff football games. It is that time of year, and we have 2 of our 3 high schools that are participating in the postseason. Hartsville High School will play in the second round of the playoffs at home against North Myrtle Beach High. And so go Red Foxes. Let's get to the next round. Also, Lamar High School is playing in the second round at home against McCormick High School. And again, go Silver Foxes. We want to see them move on to the next round. And let's get out and support our teams as we are in this playoff time of the year. So that about wraps up everything that we have for this time of In the Know. Again, it's a time to be able to just get information out that you need to hear from the board meetings, but also just general information that we may have updates for you as well. Again, we will be back with you after the December board meeting. We do not have a work session in November, so the next time that we will have this type of presentation will be in December after the regular board meeting. In the meantime, you'll have your Thanksgiving holiday. I again urge you to enjoy that time with your family. Make sure that you are thankful for what we have and not necessarily worried about what we don't have. Make sure that you reach out to those that may not have as much as we do and lend a helping hand. Keep those folks in mind. Many of our students, this time of year is very difficult for them because they don't have. And so if there's any way that you are able to reach out to families in the community to lend a helping hand, please remember to do that as we celebrate Thanksgiving over that Thanksgiving holiday. So, in the meantime, I hope you have a great rest of the week. Enjoy this cool fall weather. Hug on your family members. Tell them how much you care and love them. And again, I'm just grateful to be a part of the Darlington County School District with you and to be doing this work for our students and for our communities. And again, our main focus is kids, and let's continue to do that great work together.